Right behind me is the legendary Ball Arena, home of the Colorado Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets. An awesome place, but what do we do with all this blank space, all this parking lot that is just not being utilized except for just parking? Well, the city of Denver has some major plans for it, including residential units, some major bike paths, and also really cool commercial space to revitalize it and make things more attractive and more useful within the city of Denver. And it's supposed to be a part of this huge plan of doubling the amount of residential units in the Denver area. Super excited for it. Make sure you stay tuned all the way through to hear all the details and why it's good and maybe even why it's bad for the city of Denver. Billionaire Stan Kroenke is transforming 64 acres of mostly undeveloped empty parking spaces into a vibrant Denver community. Denver City Council has greenlit Kroenke's ambitious plan to develop over 10 million square feet of residential and retail space featuring a 9-acre park, over a dozen mid and high-rise buildings, 4 pedestrian bridges, and a mile of bike lanes, all aimed at revitalizing the city's core. So if you're looking for a long-term investment play, I think this is it. Let's dive a little bit deeper on what this redevelopment plan is and how it will affect Denver. The redevelopment area surrounding the Ball Arena is a pretty comprehensive one started by the Kroenke Sports and Entertainment Company, or KSE. It's a comprehensive initiative starting to redevelop the 64 acres of the area around the Ball Arena into something that's way more vibrant and something with both residential and retail communities. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of news articles out there that are saying 55 acres and even 64 acres, but on the website it says 55. So I'm just gonna go with the news articles and just say 64 acres, period. There are 5 key components to the redevelopment of the Ball Arena and the surrounding areas, starting with number 1 is the redevelopment and development of residential and retail spaces. The development will feature over 10 million square feet of both residential and retail spaces. They're proposing to have about 6,000 residential units, and some of them will be affordable housing, which goes into my key point number 2, which is affordable housing within those residential units. KSE has agreed to make over 18% of the units being developed to be under affordable housing. And it's not just studio or 1-bedroom apartments, they're gonna also include 2-bedroom units so that more families can stay in the area as well. The third key component is that it has public and park use spaces. Over 20% of the area is dedicated to parks and open spaces, highlighted by a 9-acre signature park designed to host large outdoor events and daily activities for residents and visitors. The fourth key component, and probably my favorite component to the whole redevelopment, is pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure. The plan includes about 4 pedestrian bridges located throughout the area connecting both Lodo, which is lower downtown, Spear Boulevard, and also the Ball Arena. And what's pretty cool is that they're including 1 mile of bike lanes just within the 65 acres. It's very accommodating for the public transit and public use. So why is KSE developing all this walkability and public transportation being accommodated for the new redevelopment? Well, it turns out KSE has data saying that about 1/3 of the people that come out to the Ball Arena do not bring their own cars. They take public transportation, electric scooters, or some other way to get to the Ball Arena. So the big idea is that they want more than 1/3 of people to use their electric scooters or go walking to these areas and not just have a place for people to have it as the destination, but to also go through it, to also go to lower downtown from Spear Boulevard or the Auraria Parkway or anything like that. And the 5th key component is that they have a community benefits agreement. There is a legally binding agreement ensuring about 20% of the businesses leasing on the property will be women or minority owned. And at least 20% of the permanent jobs as well as the construction jobs will be prioritized for residents of lower income neighborhoods. So when is this all gonna go down? So apparently this will break ground and start construction in 2026. And it's proposed to take about 25 years before construction finalizes and finishes. So that is going through any sort of economic downturn, any sort of upturn, and going forward from that. But who knows what the heck might happen? I mean, if funds are not going to be enough for it, there's just so much at stake here, and a lot of people within the city of Denver and even the council members are expecting this to happen and hoping this would happen. And how much is this going to cost? Easily billions of dollars. So with the ball arena, it was actually a unanimous vote to rezone the 55 acres into something more than just a parking space. But other parts of the 55 acres will not have a height limit, so they could build as high as they want, apparently. And that is bringing up a lot of concerns with people that want to have that mountain view over behind me on the west side. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure it's gonna ruffle up some feathers. But the thing is, people are willing to be very accommodating for this because it's a big redevelopment plan, and especially extending out the downtown area and revitalizing that area, a lot of the council people are actually being very bullish on this. Councilmember Chris Hines, even though he was kind of bummed out that he wasn't seeing the mountain views anymore, he said that with all of this redevelopment and also accommodations for affordable housing, he is very much willing to let go of the mountain views. And a little bit more context, KSE or Kroenke Sports Entertainment also owns a whole bunch of other land. I think it's like 760 acres all across America, including San Diego's Midland area and also the Los Angeles Rams and Los Angeles Chargers area. So what does this mean for people that want to invest in Denver? Well, I actually made a video on the up and coming neighborhoods within the city of Denver. I think I had like 30 zip codes in there, and Ball Arena is in zip code 80204. And after looking back at the data, zip code 80204 had the 5th most upcoming and also proposed buildings and developments happening within its zip code compared to the rest of the zip codes in Denver, and also the 5th biggest increase from rents going into 2024 onto 2025. And that zip code 80204 was ranked number 5 before all of this Ball Arena development even hit the books or even hit the news. So if essentially a lot of work is getting done within that zip code. So if you're looking for a place to park your money for the next decade or two, I'd say this is the place to be. Find the path of progress. And I love to find these up and coming neighborhoods. And if you're ever curious about that stuff, please hit me up because I love to talk about it. And if you're hearing any sort of good insight of what's happening within the Denver area, let's talk. Also, comment down below if you like this kind of content, and make sure you like and subscribe so you're not missing out on any other videos coming up in the future. So I am very excited for this facelift. It is going to be bringing in a lot of people, and I love walkable neighborhoods. I am trying to find a place that has a walkability score of 80 or higher, just so that I don't have to rely on my car that much, right? So let me know what you think. Did you like this video? Do you want to see more development projects and me doing research on them? I would love to know your thoughts. Feel free to text me, call me if you want to reach me, and schedule a free one-on-one call with me via Zoom, and we can even analyze properties together. So yeah, outside of that, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.